Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Jefferson, what is his full name? Jefferson Daniels?
I just know him as Jeff Daniels.
To me, he's Jeff. To you, he's Jefferson. It's actually pronounced Jeff Daniels. What's weird? Okay, so what's weird to me about this movie that you picked for the first time you're ever coming on here, which is it's a whole thing. The fact that this movie's lead is Jeff fucking Daniels. Because, Jeff Daniels, leading man Jeff Daniels, as so many of us know him.
Would he be co-leading man in Dumb and Dumber?
I guess so. Look, with that movie, that's the Jim Carrey show. That's true. Jim Carrey was the guy at the time, so...
You watched it for Jim Carrey.
Yeah, everybody watched it for Jim Carrey. Jeff Daniels is funny as fuck because Jeff Daniels is a good foil for Jim Carrey, but it's just weird to see Jeff Daniels as like the leading man in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, we are here on the Kulturecast. I am joined by my good friend. If you are a listener of Scary Stories We Tell, he's been on there once, and I mention him at the end of every episode because a certain someone is a graphic designer and knows what they're doing. What's up with that? My good friend, I don't know, how do I introduce you? Artist? Man about town?
Yes, there you go. The Dustin Rutledge.
There's only one, and it's me, folks. Yeah, my good friend Dustin Rutledge from the great state of Nebraska. Yay. Hello. And welcome to the first night of the last one of your life. No, this is going to be a little different than Scary Stories We Tell because on that episode that you were on, we were talking about your skepticism. You are a self-described skeptic, so that's not what we're talking about here. On this episode, since it's Halloween and the month of October is my favorite month of the year because not only is it my wife's birthday month, but it's also Halloween month. It's also the beginning of when it gets cold up here in the fucking Midwest. But we like to talk about horror movies here because that's when we started the show 7 years ago in October of 2014. So Dustin and I were talking the other night, and I've been wanting to have you on for a while. I don't know why I haven't. And to be frank, we've only hung out twice in reality, because, thanks COVID. But you and I were talking, and I was like, well, hey, it's October. You and I always talk about movies whenever we talk on the phone. So I was like, you want to come on? And you were like, sure. So, Arachnophobia, huh? What a movie.
The Jennings family has just moved to the small town of Canaima.
Oh, Ross, smell that air. Oh, God.
In search of a simpler life.
Want to blow up a bullfrog? Okay.
It's the perfect place.
Goodbye crime, goodbye grime.
Except for one pesky little problem.
Come with me and look at the web.
The web? I have a
Terrible fear of spiders. Come on, we live in the country now. It's time to work through this irrational, paralyzing terror.
It's not irrational.
Hollywood Pictures and Amblin Entertainment present Jeff Daniels.
Honey, we're in the living room. We need you to kill a spider.
And John Goodman.
Over McClintock, Infestation Management.
Ooh, I thought it's just a spider.
Would anybody object if I tore this floor out?
I would.
False alarm, then lead on. There's no spider here.
Every so often in a little town somewhere, there is a health scare.
There's a rumor going around that some kind of spider might have killed Sam Metcalf.
Doubtful.
Spiders make convenient culprits.
There's no spider here.
I think one of your Venezuelan spiders hitched a ride here. There may be some spiders around here that are very dangerous.
Dad, chill out.
Just run.
They spread out from a central nest in a web-like pattern and dominate the entire area. When that happens, this town is dead.
Better uncork my private stock.
Rock and roll! Hollywood Pictures and Amblin Entertainment present Arachnophobia. 8 legs, 2 fangs, and an attitude.
Perk up, Lloyd. If we find the spider that did this, you can arrest him.
Arachnophobia, a thrill-omedy.
I had never seen it before, but before we start this off, Dustin, I want to know why are we talking about arachnophobia? Because I kind of gave you carte blanche. I was like, whatever you want.
So arachnophobia stuck out for me. It's something that I never watched in its entirety straight through. I've seen the beginning, I've seen the middle, I've seen the end, but not all at one shot. And here's why. When the movie came out, what was it, like 1990?
It was 1990. This movie came out in 90, yeah.
So my mom took me to this movie when it came to the theater in Seward, Nebraska. And arachnophobia, yeah, it's about spiders, okay. I think at the time I was like 7 or 8, and I made it about halfway through, and I bailed. I left the movie theater, sat in the lobby. My mom stayed in the theater and finished.
Wow. I got to give a round of applause to your mom. That's a savage thing to do to a child. I mean, hey, your mom paid for that movie. She wants to watch it too. I would almost go as far as to say your mom really wanted to watch it. She didn't give a shit if you did. Come along to the spider movie.
Yeah, I just went and talked to the person out in the lobby behind the counter for another 45 minutes.
Were there no arcade games? This is the 90s. This is the height. You're telling me Seward, Nebraska didn't have an Elvira Scared Stiff pinball machine or anything?
No, they had candy, and attached to it was the movie rental store. So I just went and perused that.
You're giving our listeners a really introspective look into the 90s Nebraska culture of the movie theater with the place to rent the movies connected to it.
That's right.
Jesus Christ. So,
bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondersight comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondersight's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wonderside today.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
So, remind me again, how old were you when this movie came out?
It was like I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Okay, so I was born in April, so I would have been like 2 or 3 months old. Just to give you a frame of reference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, hey, there you go. So this movie is directed by Frank Marshall. Frank Marshall has worked on a lot of stuff. Was kicked off of The Walking Dead, because that's cool. He's directed and worked on and produced a ton of stuff that everybody's heard of. He produced he produced 2 Indiana Jones movies. The first one and the most recent one. Which, you know what? I don't know about you. Should we rewatch that movie at some point and give it like a fair shake? I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
The most recent Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to rewatch it just to like either confirm for myself how much ass it was. Because I saw it twice the day it came out. I saw it midnight and I saw it later in the day with a friend of mine. I feel like it kind of needs to be revisited. I mean, it's probably not good, but... That's
the one, I don't know if we need to worry about spoilers at this point.
Oh, God. The movie's been before 13 years. We're past the statute of limitations for spoilers at this point.
Okay, good. That's the one with the aliens at the end, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think everybody knows about that at this point.
I think when I watched that for the first time, I remember getting to the end and just kind of feeling like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's I think that was a lot of us, But Frank Marshall is a producer who's produced Raiders, he produced Poltergeist, he produced some of the Bourne movies. He's produced a lot of stuff. He produced Jurassic World, which went on to make, $8 billion or whatever it was for the Jurassic Park remake. But more importantly, Dustin, Frank Marshall, before we even talk about this movie, Frank Marshall directed my favorite Jurassic Park knockoff that I don't know if we've ever talked about it on this show, but I've always wanted to. It's Jurassic Park with monkeys.
What?
Congo, brother.
Congo. I thought, okay, I'm following you now.
Stop eating my sesame cake. That movie is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. It's so much fun.
Oh, and it's got some awesome suspense and thrill going on.
Practical effects, bunch of guys in monkey suits getting shot with lasers. What is there not to love? I think the issue with Congo is it came out like a year after Jurassic Park did. So who are you doing any favors?
It's kind of in the shadow.
Yeah, you're in the shadow of a movie that is, still talked about in 2021 as the high watermark of practical effects. So yeah. So Frank Marshall directed this movie, and it stars, like we talked about a little bit at the beginning, Jeff Daniels, Julian Sands, John Goodman's in here. We'll talk about that. And so the movie is, you know what it reminded me of? The setup? It reminded me kind of the setup of Dead Alive. So you've got the entomologists in the jungle looking for new spiders, and there's this photographer that comes with them. The photographer, he's definitely out of his element, and they go back to the camp after finding this, this new kind of spider that organizes itself more like a bee does, or ants, than spiders do. And the guy gets bitten by one of these new spiders that live on the tepui, which is kind of an area in the rainforest that is hard for people to access. And he dies, and in the process of him dying, a spider crawls into the coffin, and the coffin goes back to Canaima, California, a totally not real place, where Jeff Daniels and his family just moved, and the spider, through essentially plot magic, gets into their barn and starts breeding hundreds of spiders that kill you fucking immediately, is the only way I could put it. But the thing about this movie...
Insanely deadly baby spiders.
Yeah, the thing about this movie is this is not the movie you're expecting from what I just described. You would expect a movie that has tons of practical effects with giant spiders. No, this is a movie about killer spiders the size of spiders.
Like house spiders.
Like house spiders.
Yeah.
So.
Which if you think about it, is
a lot scarier.
Well, yeah, it makes more of a connection because you see those every day.
You can go one of two ways. You can go, the spider's so big it steps on your house, or the spider's so small it invades your house.
Right.
Or you just do a shit ton of like medium-sized spiders, which is essentially kind of what Eight-Legged Freaks did. Eight-Legged Freaks is the only kind of comparison I can think of. More contemporary, not talking about, monster movies from the 40s and 50s with green screen spiders crawling and oh my God. So Dustin, like you mentioned, you had never kind of seen this all the way through. So tell me, watching this for the first time all the way through, right?
Yeah, this is a perfect opportunity to do it.
So tell me, what did you think of watching Arachnophobia?
I had a lot of fun watching it. It was fun. And you still kind of get the creepy crawlies, as you watch it. My kid taps me on the leg and I'm like, oh.
Jesus, spiders.
Don't do that. But, there's aspects of it that you kind of get drawn into and you just get the willies from it, It's like, I've had a spider on me before. That's disgusting and that freaks me out. But watching it, though, and looking at movies the way I do today versus when I was 8, seeing how some of the stuff was accomplished to even film spiders doing what they were doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And that made me kind of look at the movie in a whole different lens. But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool ways they did what they did to make the movie. And I'd watch it again.
So, for me, I'm not a huge animal monster. I'm not animal monster, but like wild animal horror movies are not my thing. So like big snakes, big alligators, shit like that to me is just whatever, fine. Like I will watch it. I do love me some Lake Placid. Who doesn't love Deep Blue Sea? Stuff like that. Like, those are fun movies, but I don't gravitate towards them. So the reason I had never watched this movie is no one had ever asked me to watch it, is probably the better way of putting it. So sitting down to watch it this morning, what was interesting was, like you said, it's not really scary. It's actually almost anti-horror in a lot of ways. And, Frank Marshall in some interviews kind of gives a reason why, and I think it is intentional, and I think it's actually really smart. So he essentially said, people like to be scared but laughing. Like on a roller coaster, you're not actually scared. You're kind of being, as they say, you're along for the ride.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
And I think for me that's a good way of looking at this movie. Like you said, it's a fun movie. But as a horror movie, I think it's a good entry point for people that have never been interested in horror. And that's a lot of people. I mean,
yeah.
I think people are coming around on horror now because I think people are realizing how much goddamn fun horror is, especially with, something like Malignant, which we will be talking about at some point if we haven't already. And it's funny because the horror genre for the longest time was like and I'm going to use this term and you'll love this. It was like the redheaded stepchild of, no. I mean, it's the genre that's always looked down on by critics for whatever reason. I don't know. I think the taboo of people getting killed on screen may still be a thing that anyone cares about, but it's fucking fiction. It's a medium through which people express their ideas and things that they love. So you know what? Whatever. We're not going to get into that. But
something I didn't realize at the time, obviously because I wasn't paying attention to it, that this is a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. It's Hollywood Pictures, yeah.
Yeah, but Disney had stake in it, and what was the term they coined? Thrill-omedy.
Thrill-omedy. Hollywood Pictures, without a doubt, has the greatest opening logo of any studio, right? Oh, yeah. The goddamn Sphinx is so fucking cool. You couldn't have picked anything cooler for your logo. Hollywood Pictures was the production label for Walt Disney Studios, but they called it something else so that, again, like you said, you didn't know this was a Disney movie. They did their job. Yep. Right? I mean, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why Disney is going to release an R-rated Deadpool movie and it's going to be a Marvel movie, not a Disney movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And
it shows in how kind of, I'm not going to say weak the scares are, but they're very watered down.
It's just creepy. It's just...
Yeah. You can see them coming from a mile away. They follow the scare from the moment the scare starts to the moment the scare ends. In this movie, there's almost always a fake out. It's like there's always a fake out in this movie. And then they give you the kind of the quick, they show the same shot of the spider biting someone multiple times, and or it's kind of like, oh, it's in my shoe or in my helmet or something. So they do an interesting thing in this movie where they essentially show you what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they show you is going to happen happens, which is very anti-horror.
I think it's the timing they do, because you're sitting there, you're kind of leaning towards the screen, right? Like, oh, when's the spider going to jump? And then it jumps.
Yeah, it's a fake out. It's a fake out with the real thing right behind it, and they do that over and over again. It's not a bad thing, but it's definitely not the kind of horror movie that is going to get the horror community excited. But that's okay. I like these kinds of movies because, like I told you, I was like, this would be good for younger fans of horror to show them as they get older. Because I'm not, when my wife and I eventually have a kid, I'm not going to show them stuff like fucking Malignant or The Exorcist immediately. I'll show them something like this to kind of gauge their interest in something like this.
Yeah. They have fun with it, then you can go to the next thing.
Yeah, you ramp it up, and then you see where they want to go with it. But man, I think to your point though, the most impressive thing about this movie is how fucking technically impressive it is to work with these animals.
Yeah, spiders. There's
spider wranglers.
Spider.
Well, and the thing is, think about famous bug scenes in other things, right? The thing that jumps out at me is in Temple of Doom when Willie Scott has to stick her hand through and pull, right? Those bugs are being asked to do jack shit. Yep. In this movie, they did use tons of real spiders, and they were... Did you see how they directed them? With hot and cold air.
Yeah. Well, I did look up a little bit of it. They're using hot and cold air. They're using vibration. There's a couple scenes where you see them kind of running in a straight line.
Right.
And they talked about how they had cables vibrating on either side of them to keep them in that narrow space, but they were vibrating so fast the camera couldn't pick it up.
Right. That to me is like old school movie making magic. And
yeah, it's amazing.
That's what I like about this movie is it is at the end of the day a throwback film.
Yep.
It's made in the 90s. The poster screams mid 80s, and the scares are more in line with what I would say probably late 60s, maybe just the 60s style of scares, where it's like very telegraphed, very obvious, some kind of cheap jump scares, but the characters die in this movie, but nobody that you're gonna miss.
Yep.
I mean, for the most part, the characters that die are getting their comeuppance, or are just someone who is a bystander, or is the person who essentially, made the whole movie happen. So none of the good characters die, nothing like that. It's like, it's a very nice movie. Like, yeah, characters die, but like, you never really, they're not torn apart, they're not eviscerated, they're just kind of like, it's a plot point that you don't know how they die.
Yeah,
It's a whole 10, 15 minutes of this movie is like trying to convince the town that, So Jeff Daniels and his family moved to this town. He's a doctor. The local doctor won't retire. The bugs show up. Bugs start killing people. And Jeff Daniels just happens to be like kind of inspecting or checking up on the people that then just die. And they make like a point of talking about it, and then they drop it immediately. I was like, okay, it would have been an interesting plot point to run with a little bit longer.
Well, and you can kind of see what they're doing in that it's almost like the spiders are trying to frame him.
Right. But they would have no idea of doing that. Like,
but every single thing, it just escalates the frame job.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, the arachnophobia of the title Arachnophobia is in reference to Jeff Daniels' character of Dr. Ross Jennings, who has arachnophobia.
Yep.
So that's like the whole thing. I mean, I think for me, the biggest failing of the movie, both failing and success of casting Jeff Daniels and him being a believable, protagonist and lead. But the failing of the movie is by casting Jeff Daniels and making him so likable, there is no way I believe at any point in the movie he's ever in danger.
True. Yeah. Especially towards the end when it's like, you just know he's going to be the guy to end it.
Yeah. Like, I didn't for once worry that Jeff Daniels or anyone in his family was going to get adversely affected. And there were other characters that I felt when they introduced them were the same way. But I think for me, that's kind of just not the biggest disappointment, but it's just, again, I need to kind of temper my expectations with a movie like this because, again, the stakes are kind of low as it is.
Yeah, I think the biggest hooks of it are, what are the ways they can creep out the viewer, like spider crawling out of the guy's nose,
right?
Spider in the cereal,
the very obvious Roy Brocksmith dummy sitting on a couch that has the Ian Holm from Alien look on his face. Yeah, the model shrank a little bit, so it's like, I mean, hey, you know what? They had a big budget for this movie, and I know where they spent it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, and then trying to creep you out, and then also trying to have the storyline of like him being the new doctor and the like I said, the frame job, oh gosh,
unintentional spider frame job.
Yeah, he's just not gonna catch a break.
I'm killing for the doctor. The spider's got a syringe.
And he makes those comments throughout the whole thing, like, well, what are you gonna do? Well, I could kill him, when he doesn't get the job that he was supposed to get, but I end up dying.
Yeah, it's very. What's weird about the movie is it almost at times feels like there's two movies going on, right? Like the spiders are just kind of the spiders are there. Obviously, the movie's called Arachnophobia. They're the underlying movement of the plot. But yeah, I find it odd that the way that they kind of introduce the doctor character, the Jeff Daniels character, to the spiders is by them seemingly framing him for killing all these people. It's just so weird. And like the town is like, we can't exhume these bodies. Look, Stuart Pankin, he's a lovely man. I interviewed him. He's a lovely guy. He was on Xenon. If you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it. He's a lovely man. Also played the voice of Earl on Dinosaurs.
Yes.
He plays a righteous dickhead in this movie.
Yes, he does. He's the bully.
Yeah, he's great in this movie. Which is funny, like, as someone who has spoken with him and seen him in a lot of other things, he rarely portrays the villain.
Yeah, he's always
like
the
Squirrel from Dinosaurs. Like, you know.
Yeah, the Homer Simpson of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, like, he's not the film's, I guess, de facto second villain. It's very strange.
Yeah. Well, and I love also, well, back to the how some of the effects were achieved. It was almost like they had spider puppeteers. I was reading that, like when they had spiders coming down from things, you know, watching it, you're like, how in the world did they
real spiders?
That angle, that spider coming down a web at just that one point? And with a piece of wax, they connected like fishing line essentially to the spider, and that's
a real spider.
Yeah, real spiders. They would
no
fishing line with wax and lower it down towards the actors.
Oh, so those were real spiders.
Yeah,
simply stunning.
And then the other thing they did is almost like a leash. With a wax thing and a line, they'd kind of slowly pull them across the floor to get them to go the right direction.
Can you imagine working on this movie? Jesus Christ! Like
the patience.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, imagine being in that boardroom or being the one that Frank Marshall is talking to when he's like, I want to direct my first movie, but I want it to be a massive technical undertaking featuring thousands of live fucking insects. And they just looked at him and you're like, well, you did produce Raiders of the Lost Ark, so...
We'll go with it.
It's, you know, I wish I could talk more about Malignant with you, but this movie in a lot of ways feels like Malignant because this movie could not get made today. Nobody would make this movie anymore because nobody would work with real spiders. There is something about this movie that, I mean, I know we both know what it is, but the introduction of real spiders in this movie is what makes this movie memorable.
Yep.
Plain and simple. If it was giant spiders, it would be eight-legged freaks.
Yeah, it's why I bailed out on it when I was 8 years old. I'm like, those are spiders. I'm out.
Yeah, they're real spiders, and they're real small spiders. I think the biggest... Is there a spider in this movie at the beginning that is huge, that they see in the bush, or is that just me hallucinating?
Oh, no, it's the bird killer. It's gigantic. And so they took a bird killer tarantula, and they actually put, like, plastic. They attached with wax again. Wax must have been the
spider-safe option.
Yeah, the animal-friendly option. But they attached things to the side of it to make it look larger.
That was another real goddamn spider.
Yeah.
Are you fucking with me? I thought that was an animatronic.
No, there was even an interview I saw with Jeff Daniels, and that spider had a name. Like it was used in films and stuff it's called Big Bob, and the tarantula's gigantic. And like apparently Jeff Daniels was terrified of Big Bob. Like he was kind of okay with the other spiders. Those are like little huntsman spiders.
I feel like just spitballing here, Dustin. I feel like you'd have to be okay with spiders.
But additionally, John Goodman had no issue with it. He was like cool with it.
With the giant ass spider?
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, he was like one of the only ones in the entire set that was like, yeah, put a spider on me. I don't care.
I mean, okay, so let's talk about John Goodman. And there's one other person I want to talk about other than John Goodman that is rarely in things that I've seen, but he's great in this. John Goodman is in this movie, and he really feels like he drives in from another movie. Like the music, there's like a leitmotif for him. Right?
The music is great.
It's so strange. Like when John Goodman's character rolls up anytime aside from I think the finale of the film, it plays this like it's like this weird southern shit. It's like he's not written with a southern affectation. I mean, they're in Canaima, California, which I'm assuming is in like the wine country near San Francisco.
Yeah.
And he's not played as like a southern character, but the music when he shows up is like twangy, weird southern.
It's like a twangy version of the intro to the show Doug.
Kind of, yeah. It's weird. He feels like he comes in from another movie, and when he shows up, he's just it's just weird. He's a weird character in this movie because everybody else feels like a real person. Like Jeff Daniels' character.
Bugs crashing your PAX party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Doesn't feel like a fake doctor. He feels like a doctor who actually cares. And then you have John Goodman show up as just the exterminator guy with, dual-wielding extermination pistols.
I think he's needed, though.
Oh, yeah.
It offers a little balance to the movie because everybody's so freaking serious in the movie. But, whether it be Jeff Daniels and trying to find the truth, the old doctor trying to, basically blackball the new doctor.
Right.
And everybody's so serious.
All the townspeople with, weird problems that they're airing out at a picnic.
And then here comes John Goodman and walks into that first house, and he's like, "Oh, is the good doctor a spider expert?" No. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
He walks into their basement. He's like, "You have any problem with us tearing up the floor?" Yeah. Okay, never mind. What?
What's the problem? It's bad wood.
It's weird because John Goodman's character. I think John Goodman's character works because of the end of the movie just going off the rails and the spiders just overtaking this house. It's weird. I thought that they were gonna have a giant running away from the spiders throughout the town, and then I forgot that was Eight-Legged Freaks, not this movie. It's weird because the finale of this movie takes place in a house.
Yeah.
In small rooms of a house.
Yeah. But that adds to the creep factor.
Oh yeah. I mean, it adds to the tension in the movie. They're trying to get out the window and then the spiders come down. It's this is great. Who doesn't love this? This is just kind of a fun horror movie that you could watch with some friends and kind of clown on, because it's a little level of hokey, but it's fun hokey.
I see it as a kind of movie you might play while you're setting your house up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Just have it on.
Yeah. It doesn't require your attention if you've seen it.
There was
some good music.
There was a scene where the daughter's staying over at the friend's house and they're doing itsy bitsy spider and scaring each other. The scene with the doll. You remember this?
Yeah.
So the spider's coming down from the fan, or from the light fixture, and this doll slowly opens its eyes for no reason.
I know, right?
Why is the doll opening its eyes?
It's just that's Frank Marshall just giving a little nod to Poltergeist, I think.
Yes, but
who else I really like?
That part.
Well, it doesn't make any sense, but it's a horror movie. It doesn't necessarily have to. I also really like Julian Sands in this movie, who I just recently saw in Rose Red. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't.
It's okay. Rose Red is one of several, if not a growing handful of adaptations of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting.
Oh, okay.
Rose Red is What's funny is Rose Red actually probably has Rose Red does have a connection to this. I know exactly who it is. So Rose Red is what Steven Spielberg and Stephen King were working on together to try to make something The Haunting-esque. And Spielberg wanted more action, and Stephen King didn't. So Spielberg left the project. Spielberg, whose films have been produced largely. Marshall. So it's interesting because Julian Sands is in that, and I hadn't seen him in anything in a very long time, and then I saw him in this, and he's great. I think he's, perfectly well cast as kind of a weirdo doctor guy. He's not given much to do.
Yeah.
And then he just dies.
He just dies.
Literally out of nowhere. Literally just gets bit on the neck by a spider and is dead.
Well, That death does kind of come out of nowhere because you think that he's going to be the guy that knows what to do, right?
Right.
So if you're up there in the nest of this spider and he's twanging that little, spider, hey, come get me. Like, you think you'd expect a spider to come flying at you.
Given that he had spent all that time in Venezuela with these fucking spiders that he's been studying, that is one of the things in this movie where I was just like, I don't get, like, what was the point of any of this? Like, he just dies, okay.
You just didn't want to, maybe from a production standpoint, like, that's all they could pay him for? That it's like,
all right,
okay,
I'm paying you for, like, this and that's it. And Mimi is in this movie.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, no makeup, but Mimi is in this movie. Kathy Kinney from the Drew Carey Show.
Yeah, ever so small part, but I didn't.
She's great with Roy Brocksmith, though. Like, they look so perfect as a married couple. I'd
buy them as a couple.
Yeah, I love Roy Brocksmith. He has shown up in a lot of things that I love. Namely, I'm sure one of the things that we both love, Total Recall.
Oh, yes.
Come back with me, Quaid. You're in a coma. And then he also plays the bartender in the first episode of Tales from the Crypt, otherwise known as the best episode of Tales from the Crypt. So you watch one episode, you've seen the best of the show, and you never have to watch anymore. There you go. Halloween solved, everybody. Just watch one episode of that show. It's funny. There's a lot of really, like, well-known character actors in this movie. Stuart Pankin, Roy Brocksmith, Kathy Kinney. Happy Gilmore's mom is in this movie. Frances Bay, she's in there as well, playing the doctor's wife, who's trying to get her husband not to die, even though she doesn't know that. So I guess she does. I guess she does cause him to die.
A little bit, yeah.
The floor is cold. Put your shoes on.
All right, woman.
I do find it funny that he puts his shoe on and the spider bites him as he kills the spider. That's the only explanation. Like, you put your foot into the shoe, you're gonna kill the spider.
Mm-hmm. But he was with it way more than the other people that died. He's like, I'm having a seizure. He's like, call Dr. Jennings.
Well, did you hear the kind of the gory detail of the other woman? The first woman that dies, Jeff Daniels' character says something to the effect of like, yeah, but people that are having that don't bite their tongues off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. I was like, what?
Over. Yeah.
Fuck. I will ask you, though, as this is one of two Spider movies that I can just off the top of my head think of. Would you watch this again or Eight-Legged Freaks again?
Gosh. Eight-Legged Freaks is a fun movie, too, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
It's almost more action-y.
Trying to think of an analogy. This is to, well, I wouldn't say Alien. Trying to think. This is to Alien as Eight-Legged Freaks is to Aliens. There is kind of only one bad spider in this movie.
Yeah, true.
Technically, it's that same horseshit hive thing where it's kill the one and they all go away.
Queen. Yeah.
Which is kind of lazy, kind of cheap. Game of Thrones did it. Everybody's done it. It's lazy.
So I would probably say I'd watch Eight-Legged Freaks again over Arachnophobia just because how close it hits to home, Arachnophobia, the creep factor. Like, I've seen wolf spiders are a big thing here in Nebraska.
Yeah.
They kind of look like those.
Yeah. Big ones. Big ones can get the size of I could
draw a parallel from what I see in my house to what I see in that movie, and that weirds me out. That creeps me out.
Sure.
But if I were to see a spider 5 minutes after watching this movie, I'd probably scream. But
smash it for me.
It's so fun and kind of out there. Like that's way more easy to watch a second time and multiple times. It doesn't creep me out like this one does.
I think it's funny, and I brought it up because it's also technically horror comedy.
Yeah.
But to your point, thrill-omedy. What a fucking... That was in some boardroom somewhere. Someone was like, thrill-omedy, that's what the kids are going to like.
Yeah.
This will be a phrase that we'll be repeating until we're all dead and buried.
Yep, say that 10 times fast.
You know what, Dustin? You may be, think about this, you may be the first person in 2021 to say thrill-omedy.
Hey.
There is a distinct possibility that you may be the first person to say thrill-omedy this entire year.
I want to make a t-shirt that says thrill-omedy on it.
Thrill-omedy. This is my thrill-omedy shirt, brother. So Eight-Legged Freaks and Arachnophobia are both movies about spiders. But the one is more horror than comedy, because Arachnophobia is funny, kind of, right?
It's some funny lines.
There's some moments, but I don't think overwhelmingly it's funny scenarios.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say Arachnophobia is horror comedy. Eight-Legged Freaks is comedy horror.
I'd agree with that.
You know?
Yep.
Okay, if I say Ghostbusters, horror comedy or comedy horror?
Comedy horror.
Evil Dead 1.
Horror comedy.
Evil Dead 2.
Still horror comedy.
I think I know the answer to the next one. Evil Dead 3. Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that's definitely comedy horror.
That might not even be a horror movie. I don't know.
I think they just embraced with... not to go off, break off into a talk about...
I know, but I had to bring it up because I know how much you fucking love Evil Dead.
I think they attempted to make a horror movie, but Bruce Campbell being Bruce Campbell, it had to have some funny parts.
Yeah.
And then by the time Army of Darkness rolled around, they just embraced what they had and
turned
it to 11.
Look at something like Spider-Man and then Evil Dead. Those are directed by the same guy, and they have that same subversive DNA. And you know, I like what Frank Marshall did in this movie. I do, but for me, if I'm gonna watch a funny horror movie, okay, let's just call it that for the moment. If I'm going to watch a funny horror movie, I would prefer a comedy horror as opposed to a horror comedy, because horror comedies tend to be like this movie, where it's like a lighter horror film that doesn't really... It's not that it doesn't have anything to say, but if horror is not going to take a back seat, it's hard for it to be funny.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much body.
No, it's just... It's hard to make a movie scary when you're trying to get people to laugh, unless you just, out of the gate, say, look, this movie's not really going to be scary. So let's just go with it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a conceit in a lot of this. It's like, just assume it's not going to be scary. Like, I don't really consider Demon Knight scary. Do you?
No.
I don't consider Return of the Living Dead scary either.
Nope.
But those are some of my favorite horror movies and some of the greatest comedy horror movies ever made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's, for me, I think that's why this movie it's fun, but I can kind of leave it as a one-time viewing, because I would rather just watch Eight-Legged Freaks. And I know that's, they're not comparable, but Eight-Legged Freaks is more like Ghostbusters or Evolution.
Yep, Evolution.
Evolution's one of the greatest movies, man.
I love it.
It's so good. It's like
horrible in here.
Ghostbusters, but with David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Like, you've sold me. At the height, essentially, not at the height, but like right as the X-Files were starting to become not a thing anymore. You got Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Sean William Scott, Julianne Moore still trying to figure out what her career was going to be about. Because she wouldn't be in that movie now. But Duchovny probably would be.
What were the two kind of bully guys in that movie? They're kind of the...
One of them is Ethan...
Donkey Lips?
One of them is Ethan Suplee, the guy from Mallrats.
Isn't one of them Donkey Lips?
Who the fuck is Donkey Lips?
Maybe not. I don't know who Donkey...
It is a sailboat. That's all I think of when I think of Ethan Suplee. But you know what I'm talking about, right? It is a sailboat.
Is that from that movie?
No, it's from Mallrats.
Mallrats? I haven't seen Mallrats in like years.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Donkey Lips.
That is who that is. He is in Evolution.
Yeah, I thought so.
I love that movie.
Michael Ray Bauer.
Why is he called Donkey Lips?
It's from something in Nickelodeon, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm more motivated to watch a movie like that over something like this. Which is not to say that there is anything against the quality of this movie. Just for me, my personal tastes skew closer if I'm watching a comedy horror movie to comedy horror, not horror comedy.
I'm going to beat the term into the ground. Do you think thrill-omedies are...
I think that's a better term for this movie, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Really do.
You seen anything like this today that's set up this way?
I don't... Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, the thing about this movie is it's almost a movie that can't get made for a number of reasons. Namely, I don't know if people would go see this movie and walk out of the theater being excited. It is kind of a soft movie for a time past. You know what I mean? Like
Monster, there's no gore. There's no.
It's quaint. Yeah. It's a quaint little horror movie.
It's cute horror.
Yeah. It's thrill-omedy. It's not really a horror movie. Like, while I appreciate what Hollywood Pictures was going for, I think they're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a horror movie. It's not really scary. It has some jump scares. It has some tension building. But it's not scary. But that's okay. Like, it's still a good movie. It's still technically impressive. Yeah. Jeff Daniels, didn't really talk about him a whole lot, but Jeff Daniels is pretty good. I like Jeff Daniels a lot.
He says a lot of big words as playing a doctor.
I think my favorite thing about Jeff Daniels is, for the longest time, I always thought Jeff Daniels and Jeff Bridges were the same person. Well, I was a dumb kid. What do you expect? And then he was in My Favorite Martian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, he was. But, I mean, the 90s were a peak time for Jeff Daniels. I mean, he was in Speed. He was in Dumb and Dumber. He was in Fly Away Home. He was in 101 Dalmatians. He was in Arachnophobia. I mean, holy shit. My Favorite Martian, yeah. Pleasantville. I mean, and some of those are good movies.
Look, thinking back on it, in my mind, I thought I remembered Goodman having a larger role. Like, because I think I even remember there being movie posters with, like, John Goodman and his dual-wielding fun switch.
It's a hell of a bait and switch.
But, like, I feel like I remember him being more of a role, but he doesn't come into the thing until
halfway. Yeah. That's the weird thing for me about this movie is I kind of forgot John Goodman was in it, and that's okay because he's not really in it that much. They make good use of him when he's in it, though. Obviously.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird.
He's funny. Delbert.
Delbert. And I mean, this is, we're 7 years into John Goodman's acting career at this point because he started working in '83. And he had been in some stuff up until this point. He was the lead in one of my favorite movies, True Stories, the weird Talking Heads movie. He was in Raising Arizona. And then right after this, he was in one of your favorite films of all time, King Ralph.
I love King Ralph.
I fucking knew you did. I was making a joke, and boy.
No, I love King Ralph. I had that movie on VHS, and I watched it multiple times.
King Ralph. I'm going to assume it's not good.
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh, Chris.
Remember how he played Babe Ruth in that one movie?
Yeah.
I did see. Have you ever seen Matinee?
Yes, I have.
That's a pretty good one. I like that movie. Speaking of giant bugs.
Yeah.
That's the one with the giant ants, yeah.
Yes,
yeah, that movie's actually a lot of fun. We did an episode on it a couple years ago, I think.
They were in the movie theater and they like tear through the theater.
Yeah. He's like a William Castle type where he's, gimmicky shit with the movie. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're still kind of in John Goodman is not John Goodman. Not the John Goodman that like everybody knows now.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 2 years on Roseanne, John Goodman. Well, he was on Roseanne for 9 years.
So maybe there's something in this universe here. What was his name? Dan in Roseanne?
Yeah, Dan Connor.
What was his job?
I don't know. I didn't watch that show.
Was he an exterminator?
No, he's a drywall contractor, I think.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
So you think he had are you trying to do the whole, I don't think I've ever told this on podcast. There's a couple movie theories that we've kind of cooked up over the years, either off and on podcast. One of them was a long time ago, the Arnold theory, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually in every movie. He just shows up too late to do anything about it in every one of them, except for the ones that he's in. So there's a scene in Arachnophobia where Arnold pulls up in a Humvee. And he's like, spiders, where? And they're like, we've handled it. Go back to your own movie. And then he trots off to King Ralph. So there's that. And then I also have the Mulder theory, which is every movie that David Duchovny is in, he's just Mulder with amnesia.
Oh.
And so, at the end of Evolution, there's a missing reel where Scully shows up and she's like, Mulder, what have you been doing this whole time? And he's like, who is Mulder? And it's like, and that's like, there you go. That I prescribe to that theory, but John Goodman is I think for me, John Goodman is one of those actors that I would like to do a deep dive on his career.
Yeah. I think he's got a pretty wide spectrum of characters he's played. Because didn't he also play in kind of an offshoot of Cloverfield?
Oh yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's a really good movie.
He's kind of a psycho dude.
That's a good movie, and he's not only is he really good in it, he makes that movie better than it has any right to be.
Oh yeah.
How do we know that? Because the movie is terrible once it leaves the bunker. All the mysterious, dark midnight aliens that you can't see because it was all filmed at night. Cool, guys. What about, do you remember We're Back? A Dinosaur's Story.
Oh, it sounds familiar.
The animated movie where the dinosaurs get fed the cereal that makes them grow their brains bigger and so they can talk.
Yes.
And then they travel forward in time and fight Dr. Screw Eyes.
I probably have not seen that movie in 20 years.
Do you know what the other doctor's name is?
What's that?
Dr. New Eyes. I'm not even joking. I wish I were. Dr. New Eyes, and do you know who voices Dr. New Eyes' alien, sidekick?
No.
Jay Leno.
No way.
Do you know who voices Captain New Eyes? Excuse me. Walter Cronkite.
That seems like a weird amalgamation of things in that movie.
And Yardley Smith plays the little girl character. Yardley Smith, obviously very famous for playing another little girl on the world's unfortunately longest running animated television series, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
So that movie has John Goodman and the voice of Lisa Simpson and Jay Leno.
Dr. New Eyes. It's almost as if they forgot to name all the characters. And what do we call this one?
New Eyes.
God, we go to, or finishing our animation next week. Who do we call this person? I don't know. Dr. New Eyes.
And I guess the reason you would do a John Goodman retrospective would be so you could talk about the Flintstones.
Oh, yes. He's perfect for Fred Flintstone.
Oh, my God. I can't think of Fred Flintstone and not think of John Goodman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If people don't like that movie, it's for a lack of having watched it recently. It's really funny. And it's not only really funny, it's also really, satirical. And,
oh, yeah.
It tears apart consumerism, pretty deftly for a movie about a family living in prehistoric times.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Barney.
Oh, my God, that's right. Oh, my God. And Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah.
That's playing against type, playing a villain, and Rosie O'Donnell. Ugh.
But she's a perfect Betty.
Yeah,
It's well cast.
Sure. I mean, she's not a very good actress, but that's neither here nor there. So, Dustin, would you, for our dear Arachnophobia, a film that took you 30 plus years to watch, would you skip it or watch it?
I'd watch it. I think it taps into not only something that you can encounter any day, every day, but it makes it happen in kind of a fun way, a tactile way to like, oh, I've felt that feeling before.
Right.
But takes you on kind of a ride, amplifies it to oh man, if I fell into my basement into a nest full of spiders.
Yeah, go further than that. If I fell off of the second story of my house into my basement.
It just shook it off.
I was just the wood was weak enough for me to fall through, but yet strong enough for me to walk over.
Yeah, it's like a sponge.
Yeah, fuck it, who cares? It's a movie. We're in the last 10 minutes anyways.
Oh, and how the movie ended with the nail gun shot. Oh.
He pins the big spider to the nest.
Yeah. Killing two birds with one stone, so to speak.
And I love the throwaway line at the end of the movie to absolve them of any continuity. They're like, yeah, John Goodman's character got the other ones.
Yeah.
He got all the other ones, he got them. What? Well, no, because the arachnophobia, the spiders in this movie have the lysine contingency. Do you know about that?
No.
Do you know what that's from? The lysine contingency. They kind of hint at it. Speaking of Jurassic Park, fucking shit. We're right back to where we started. In the book Jurassic Park, they explain why the dinosaurs can't get away from the island because, again, you know, they have goddamn flying dinosaurs. Why don't they just fly away? It's because of something called the lysine contingency, where they have to be fed lysine by, you know, Jurassic Park handlers, otherwise they die.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's high in lysine? Soybeans.
Oh.
So in the book, dinosaurs make it to the mainland, and they're like, there are these animals that are eating our soybean crops. Bum, bum, bum. And that's how the book ends.
Oh.
Yeah, but like that in the movie, they're like, yeah, I don't know. They can't reproduce, so they just like, they die immediately. Whatever. We don't care.
Yeah, they hint at that at one point where they say, we've already found a dead one. And it's like a day later.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're like, oh, well, they can't reproduce, so they must just die quickly. Like, okay.
Yeah, so either John Goodman got them all, or they just walked away from the property for a day, and there's just a bunch of dead spiders.
Right. I think for me, I'm going to say watch it, not because I think like horror files should watch it, but I think this is a unique film in that it's a movie you could introduce people to horror with to kind of gauge the waters and see what they're comfortable with.
I like that sentiment.
And frankly, there's nothing wrong with a movie like that. Not everything needs to be Hostel or Saw or even Nightmare on Elm Street or Malignant or anything. And, you know, we need all kinds of horror movies because thrill-omedies are just not going to cut it.
That's right. You don't see them these days.
Thrill-omedies. We're bringing to you some thrill-omedies. They're really great. This doesn't roll off the tongue at all, but believe us, it'll be a thing.
They're coming back.
Trying to think of some terms that people tried to get over. New Pepsi, that was one. New normal, that was another. I don't know. Thrill-omedy sounds like the worst fucking cooked up idea this side of the boardroom. This side of Poochie. So, you know, it's just, you could just imagine them sitting there being like, well, it's not really funny. It's also not scary.
Kind of thrilling.
I was thrilled. Someone just, they were looking at the test notes and someone just put, I was thrilled.
Yeah. Well, John Goodman brought comedy. Hey, thrill-omedy.
Thrilling-omedies. God, what the fuck? Just call it what it is. It's a horror comedy. Thrill-omedy. You know,
See, you had to say thrill-omedy because horror-omedy doesn't really work.
Right. Just like I found out that Horrortober isn't the best thing to call this month either, because Horrortober, unless you enunciate it, just sounds like Horrortober, and that is not what we were talking about. This podcast does support sex workers in the sex worker industry. I'm not going to refer to anyone as a whore, and this is Horrortober, for fuck's sake. Right? It's like, the joke that it came about was because of have you ever seen 30 Rock, the rural juror?
I've seen 30 Rock, but I'm not familiar with the reference.
There was a show in the show that they were pitching, and they couldn't even get the people in the boardroom past the name because the name was Rural Juror. And they kept saying the rural juror. I think it was Rachel Dratch's character kept saying the Roger. So yeah, Horrortober. It doesn't have the ring to it that Shacktober or Horrortober. I should have thought that one up 7 years ago. Oops. So on that note, Dustin, I want to thank you for joining me for the first time. Not the last time, but the first time.
It was a blast.
Do you have any interest in plugging any social media?
No.
Just put that noise.
Google me.
Google me. Hit up my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Go there.
My masterclass.
Hi, I'm Dustin Rutledge, and this is my masterclass.
Don't know what yet.
What if we had one where it was Rikishi, and he said, "Hi, I'm Rikishi, and welcome to my fat ass," and give him the stink face? God, wrestling has rotted my brain from the inside out. It's like as I sit here wearing a wrestling t-shirt, that's my fault. For reasons. As for this podcast, you can find it at Kulturecast.com. You can find me on the internet at CSTACHIW.com. That's my link tree. If you're into those sort of things, we have a Patreon. Big thanks to our Patreon supporters and to you, Dustin. And we'll catch you on the next